we have an amazing fireside chat happening. And for this chat, I would like to invite Niranjan Nakhate, co-founder and CEO of Futwork. Let's give it up for Niranjan, guys. Come on, guys. I need a huge round of applause. Let's be a little sporty. Then we have Harneet Singh, Managing Director, TechCurators. Let's give it up for Mr. Harneet Singh, guys. We are getting the panelists for the fireside chat. Thank you so much for your time. And we are getting Mr. Harneet Singh. I think he is around here. Yeah. Welcome, Mr. Harneet. Over to you guys. The stage is all yours. Thank you.
Hello. Hi everyone. A very good afternoon. I'm Niranjan. I am the co-founder and CEO at Futwork. I think you heard my co-founder Shri for some time in the last session, so here I am representing us again. I have Harneet with me. I'll just give you the mic to quickly introduce yourself, and then we'll take it from there.
Hello everybody. Glad to be here, and thank you. Thanks to all of you for coming this early in the morning in the cold winter, foggy, smoky weather of Delhi. So I am Harneet and I am a serial entrepreneur. I founded 5 companies, running 4 of them and in India, US, UAE, and most of my companies have been B2B tech, AI space. The most recent company, which is the most famous company as well, which is Rabbit AI. So I'm the Chief AI Officer at Rabbit AI, which is funded by NVIDIA and other players, and it's headquartered in UK and serving a lot of customers, US, EU, and India as well. Personally, I have served as an AI consultant to South Korean Navy, where we built deep learning models for them for identifying naval mines. That's where I got discovered by Indian Defense, and I got called back to India. They're like, you look like an Indian guy. You're also wearing a turban. So what are you doing for South Korea and London? Come here and serve the nation. We're like, okay, you guys don't give business that easily because you ask for a 100 crore history for past 10 years. If I would have that, probably I would have never moved to UK. So they're like, no worries, probably we can do something in AI. So I am a big advocate of AI because AI kind of connected me back to my nation, number 1. Number 2, AI has given us that kind of leverage where a rabbit can compete with a lion. When I say rabbit, it's not just my company, it's a metaphor for small emerging companies with lesser workforce, lesser resources, and lion, you know, it's the big tech. It could be anyone who is like huge, right? So AI or Gen AI is that, I would say that magic wand which puts you in front of the lion and can actually make a rabbit outcompete a lion.
Yeah, I think you would probably be living in a cave in the last 2 years if you don't hear about AI at least 10 times a day. Whether you open LinkedIn, whether it is from the senior management, whether it's a mandate from the international headquarters, I think one thing that is common across has been the penetration of AI and how quickly have people moved on to using AI at an individual level, at a professional level, at an organizational level. So Harneet, just to start off, right, I think this has been the fastest growth of any technology that we've seen, everyone across the world adopting it at the same time. I can definitely see it with so many job applications coming in. Sometimes we receive the same application, was probably written by ChatGPT. But how do you kind of see the landscape more from an enterprise lens, or what are your customers asking for today, just to kind of set the context for the conversation?
Sure. I guess what AI has enabled, some of the things which earlier used to be a dream or just a vision, AI is actually making it happen. So I'll give you some of the case studies, let's say in customer experience, which is kind of the theme of the town today as well. So in customer experience, if you actually want to personalize something at scale, I guess AI can do that. For example, person A, B, C. Person A, imagine, is from probably Thailand. Person B coming on your site is from Indonesia, and person C is from probably Delhi, India, and person D is from London, UK. Right? If you want to show them the different experiences on your website, and you want to do that not just for 4 customers, but also for 4 million customers, that is a real possibility today. It's happening. See, this localization and customization of the site for various users in various geographies was also earlier possible, but now it's more prevalent than ever. So one of the things which I see in the landscape, people are giving customer experience way more weightage than before. And number 2, it's also possible to achieve different kind of experiences for different customers. Some of the clients we work with, we have built solutions for them where their entire product changes, be it in terms of the localization, the content which is there on the website, it changes based on the geography the person is logging on.
Got it.
Also, it also changes based on their past history on the site. And this is true for all kinds of B2C, B2B kind of companies. So that is one thing which I definitely see in this landscape.
At an organizational level, even for us, we serve more than 40 customers today. And we started off as a human distributed contact center. So we had people working from their own homes. And we are also firm believers that the advent of AI is definitely going to help in personalization. For example, the way we use it is to reduce the number of pauses on call that a human would have. And that's the first step that we did. Now, there is so much that is happening with respect to the L1, L2 queries that come in, which need not go to a human. Now, there are some contradictions here because today, if I have to put in place the costing for a human in India versus the cost for an AI, yeah, there's definite comparison. But when we serve the international market also, I think that's where there has been a real value add, where you can now personalize the communication. You can go deep into a particular system. One thing that we are working on with the OTT customer is to understand how much time are people spending on a particular screen, and then do we need to intervene with a call. Right? So it's not only going to be about having communication channels and voice bots, it's also going to be about improving customer, like getting in customer delight, which wasn't there earlier. So if a customer feels that I'm getting stuck, but maybe the customer doesn't know, maybe they spend more than enough time on a particular screen, I mean, that's where you can intervene and personalize the entire experience.
Yeah, truly. I would like to add one thing. So all our companies at TC Group, the 5 companies I mentioned, which I founded, so the entirely it's called TC Group, it falls under the holding company TC Group. So one thing which is very clear among our management as well, when we define customer experience, what exactly is customer experience, we have 3 fundamental rules for it. And we are like, if customer is God, worship them well. If customer is king, give them a royal experience. And if customer is your boss, never annoy them or never make them complain. So once any product, any service, any experience we design, it has to go through all these checklists. And to give customer a royal experience, to royal, unique, premium experience, to give customer an experience which never annoys them. It could be handling their complaints in the least possible time. It could be giving them a response which could be driven by AI, but it does not look like AI.
Yeah.
Or it could be, feeling them loved, valued and all, because every product is an experience in itself. All that is actually possible. See, if I have to generate a good experience, give a royal experience to, let's say you or somebody, one person, probably I'll require 10 people around you who can actually create that experience for you. So logically and mathematically, it's not possible in enterprise scenario that for every customer, can you have 3 or 4 service reps who are taking care of their every query day and night, every time? That's not possible. That's where AI steps in. And one more thing, AI has been there for past 10 years as well. Only difference which is now is it is more democratized.
Yep.
If I break it down, it is more economical, it is more accurate, and it is more widespread these days, which is making these kind of things a reality, where you can actually give a royal experience to the customer.
Yeah. I think this has brought on a completely new set of companies globally also. So one thing that we kind of believe in is that the organizations are going to start becoming much smaller. Right? If you're an insurance company, you're going to be great at what you do, but do you also want to be put in enough effort to be great at customer experience? Maybe not. Maybe you, and that's why outsourcing even happens in the first place. Now, what is going to happen is it's going to be easier to start a company. It's going to be easier to launch a D2C brand today. It's going to be easier to, if you have the expertise and access to capital, you can get started, and there are enough players out there who are enablers who can either make AI-based support happen for you, procurement happen for you. All of those things can get taken care of. So what we've been reading is that probably 15, 20 years back, we saw the start of the SaaS movement, which was software as a service. Today, we just are flipping it around because services are equally important, and we're actually seeing services as a software. So companies are now seeing that there is a lot of value to get the job done via experts. I mean, companies such as an Infosys would have to reinvent themselves. There's probably somewhere there's a company that is building software using AI much faster, who's going to be a competitor to Infosys in the future. So service as a software is something that we kind of believe in. And taking just specific industries, right? If there is one industry, Harneet, that you want to speak about where there is going to be a large impact that you're already seeing or you're already serving, is there something that where you feel that the moment has come for that industry?
Interesting question. So rather than one, I would say two industries where I'm seeing a lot of impact. One is education, the learning industry. And learning is not just colleges or universities, but also the employee learning, employee upskilling, or the programs government run, the L&D programs, right? How companies are looking at leveraging Gen AI to upskill their people, not only in Gen AI, but other technologies. That is one. And two, I would say insurance industry. Because insurance industry have been the most known sexy industry for the years, although for investors and for business it's very attractive, but for people who serve in the industry, right, and the people who interface with the industry, it's not been that attractive of an industry that, you know, one morning you wake up and you're like, no, I'm gonna buy 4 insurances and love the experience which these guys gonna give me, and my claims are not gonna process, and I have to, you know, queue and wait for long. So this industry is I would say was the most frustrated one, but also here there are examples right now, and a lot of automation is happening. It is Gen AI plus some of other technologies, be it automated claims processing, be it, so it starts at every stage. You know, if there are still paper things, now we have better AI which can do better OCR and digitization of these records and feed the data in real time. In fact, we have worked with, you know, somebody like Deloitte on that kind of project where we have built a OCR model which is much more accurate than the existing OCR model, and it can even understand a doctor's handwriting. Yeah, which is one of the most difficult things. Through data annotation in RLHF, it can understand that. And not just in English, it's in Arabic, it's in Persian and all those languages, because that was the client's request. Because for English, I guess all big players are already working. AWS is working hard to, you know, build that product in a better manner. So for Arabic, for Hindi, for these kind of things, and that's this particular AI software which we have built can actually extract a lot of information from the written material. That is first stage. Second is mapping the claims to the policies and, you know, making a kind of heuristics which can guide the customer in the real direction, and not just the bot says, oh, in the past world, the bots would say, insurance bot would say, oh, we have noted your request and we'll come back to you and this will happen, that will happen, which everybody understands this is very annoying. Now you think of a person who is sitting who is probably a farmer claiming insurance for their crops. He just uses a mobile phone, and it is possible to serve him if that farmer speaks Malayalam or Kannada or Punjabi or Marathi. It is possible to give them a voice-based output in their language कि boss, your insurance claim is not getting cleared because of these things. आप एक काम करिए, आप यहाँ पे कॉल लगाइए, या फिर आप इस तरह की फोटो खींच के भेजिए. ये बातें आज की डेट में AI कर सकता है. And I can probably speak 3-4 languages, but AI can speak more than 100 languages. and voice thing enabled with that. So this, I believe, is the real impact, where that farmer sitting in a tier 3, tier 4 remote village of a Maharashtra can claim the insurance for crops and can get a peaceful sleep at night. He don't have to run to the bank or the insurance company. And this is what I have really seen. So this is the real impact of AI. We can always argue AI is a myth, AI is a hype, AI is displacing jobs and all that stuff. But there are some real good things which are happening, which, you know, you as a human would not talk to a farmer sitting in Maharashtra for 4 hours of your day, of course. But an AI can do that. And that AI you can operate, you can maintain, you can, leverage that AI for improving your experience. And then imagine, there are 5 journeys in the, I believe there are 5 journeys in the customer experience when somebody buys. 3 of them are pre-purchase and 2 of them are post-purchase. If I guess everybody knows those 5 journeys: awareness, consideration, then decision-making of purchase, then probably retention. And 5th one I say, which is the gold standard, which is advocacy. So these 4 stages happens for most of the brands. वो सबके लिए हो जाता है. It's not a big deal कि customer ने आपके बारे में समझा, जाना, purchase कर लिया. That's fine. और retain भी कर लिया. Maybe उसके पास कोई और option नहीं है और you are the most cheaper one. But advocacy is where the cult gets built. Advocacy is where Apple is ruling the market. Advocacy in low terms, in layman terms, advocacy means कि I am taking my efforts to advocate about your product, your brand, your experience. Let's say you go watch a movie. That movie is really good. Because of that experience, you go tell everybody, your friends. You are not getting a commission by telling your friend to go watch that movie. But you are telling your friends, neighbors, relatives, go watch that movie. That is really nice. Or visit that club. That is really awesome. Yeah? So human beings actually reach the advocacy stage for any product, service, experience, or for any product, service, or brand, if only they get that delightful experience. So I say the 4 stages of customer journey, they can happen. Really sorry. The 4 stages of customer journey that can really happen with the product, service, and cost. But the 5th stage, advocacy, can only happen with experience. And that experience, Gen AI or AI is reshaping for better.
Got it. I think just to add on to what you said, I think there are also a lot of, I would say, non-cool, non-sexy applications of AI that are usually overlooked, and those are the ones which definitely should be implemented first in terms of how you handle customer data, building those interventions, building models that can, you basically have an assistant for every customer that you have. That's the power of AI. You don't have to sit and have a lot of processing power at your end. And you're able to implement this quite fast now at an organizational level. You're able to pilot all of this very fast. So if I have to just put this to you, like if you have a customer coming in, how fast would you think would you be able to get them started on some kind of a basic, say, Gen AI tool to improve how they are capturing data, to give them better insights, and to plug it into some kind of a customer communication bot or a voice agent?
Sure. So I'll give a 2-pronged answer to that. One is, if there are a lot of companies who are having a lot of data with them already, let's say they're using a call service, chatbot is there on their website or on their app, and there are some inbound calls data which they have. So if they have enough amount of data, it could be unstructured. It probably takes us 1 week's time to get them onto a Gen AI tool at 0 cost to kind of, use it for their customers. And it just integrates with their website or app. Whatever unstructured, of course, the results will not be that good in 1 week. It probably take 2-3 months time to actually get to a 70-80% good results, and 6 months time to actually reach to a level where you are 95% AI and 5% human of your data. But this has to be extensive. There people are also involved. But if you are saying to get started on an AI tool for customer experience, 7 days if they already have data, or probably 1 month if they don't have data.
I think that is one thing that generally what we are seeing is that for AI solutions to work, one, you obviously need to have data. The second is the integrations are much deeper than what they were earlier. It's not only about plug and play systems anymore. You need to go deeper. You need to understand the problem very well. So you're probably going to see very vertical specific, like as you mentioned, insurance. Someone would understand insurance very well, and then you're able to implement a solution vertically for all insurance companies.
And one good thing about Gen AI versus other technologies is this. Other technologies, now you would need all data in one specific format. For example, all organizational data needs to be in a particular table format in your database to run an SQL query or do something like that. But in case of Gen AI, it could be a SharePoint having a lot of your videos and images. At the other end, it could be a lot of PDF files and text documents. At the other end, there could be tables and all. What I mean to say is, your data can be as scattered and as unstructured, and still it works for you, right? It works for you. This is the difference. I say this is the underlying difference between Gen AI and other technologies. Other technologies want your data in one format, in centralized place to run some algorithms on it. But Gen AI can actually work with unstructured data. It could lie on 5 places in your databases. It could be a text, video, audio, and different kind of tables, and still we can make it work for you.
Yeah. I mean, the speed of this particular technology, I think us being, even with our investors, I think what we've understood is that you need to be an AI first company today. You need to have some amount of intervention across some part of the organization, because most likely, I think this is the first time someone in your organization is already using it. There's someone who's in the sales team who's writing better emails with probably ChatGPT. There is someone in your product and a tech team who is using, let's say, GitHub Copilot to write better code and to write faster code. So it is already happening. Maybe at an organizational level, it's not understood, but it's creeping in. It's just moving in slowly in the organization.
So I'll tell you one interesting case study. So till yesterday, I was in Thailand. There was again conference going on. I came back for this conference, and I was with the Ministry of Labor and Ministry of Skills in Thailand, and the conference was with ATP, which is like 200-year-old US organization, Association of Test Publishers, and they are the ones who are like the trade body of all the assessment and learning companies, players. And they were having this conference, and we were having this discussion with the ministries of Thailand, and that, see, one thing which is actually gonna change in this era is like the 1995 to 2000 era, probably when computers were coming in, and this like pre-dot-com era, and everybody was like, maybe writing an email is a skill, operating a laptop or operating a desktop is a skill. Yeah, using Microsoft Office used to be a skill, but in 5 years' time, it became a normal. It became a mandate, and this is true. We predicted, we were having this conversation, and one of the fair guy from the ministry told that we believe that in 5 years, this is gonna be, everybody needs to know AI. There's no option in your resume, in your profile, in your curriculum, everywhere. It's not a different thing for lawyers, for teachers, for doctors, for business professionals, for salespeople. Only thing is how much penetration it is having in your day-to-day roles, but it is gonna be as normal as the mobile phones you operate or the computer devices you. A lawyer cannot say only a computer science engineer will use a computer. मैं तो अभी भी paper pen पे काम करूँगा. A lawyer cannot say that, right? When the computer was happening, when PDF was invented by Adobe, lawyers also started using that thing. And that is also true for doctors. A doctor cannot say ki I can still go with my old means. So that's how this is getting disrupted. And in this 5 to 7 year arbitrage which we have, I believe the people who can cause the most disruption, one, people who are working on leveraging Gen AI to improve their customer experience. For sure, those are the brands who can be the Apples of tomorrow. And number 2 are the people who are telling other people how to use Gen AI, and that is education. They are of course going to build a lot of money. So UC Berkeley happens to be one of our clients, and I work very closely with them for past 6-7 years. Till the time we founded TechCurators, and we work with a lot of US universities, and they tell me that, Harneet, the total amount of money we've made in past 5 years, the total amount of money from educational courses, online and offline, they've made in past 5 years, is the amount of money they have made by just selling Gen AI courses in India. Not even US, not even UK, Gen AI courses in India. And this is just one university. Their entire course revenue for past 5 years, US, rest of the world, online, offline, maybe 90 countries combined, 5 years, 1 year, one country, That's the scope. So it's definitely not a hype. And these are the guys who are minting most of the money. And I got so jealous of them. And I felt so foolish about us. कि आज भी East India Company rule कर रही है, boss. It's not a difference. Because see, we are the ones, as TechCurators, I run a 1,000-member shop, right? 500 member, completely engaged in the learning and development business. Probably 10% of them are completely engaged for UC Berkeley and organizations like them to create courses, to create that experience for their learners. We are also making good money, that's fine, but they are minting so much money, they're getting it done from here, they're going there, they're branding it, UC Berkeley online certification for CXOs, for leaders, for lawyers, for everybody, coming back to India, selling at 10x the price, giving us some royalty. Fine, we are happy, but we're not happy for the nation what is happening. And that's where we launched Rabbit Learning as well. So we could not do it in that name of TechCurators. We're like, we will sell it. And we have made our courses live on Udemy for CXOs, GenAI for CXOs and all that stuff. Very no BS, very to the point, how you can use GenAI in your business. And that is also for zero cost, right? And sometimes Udemy puts at 500 or 1,000 rupees. That is to cover their platform cost, but most of the times it is running at zero cost. We launched it on Diwali itself, and to my surprise, the maximum learners I've got 0 from India. I told you, I have my company's presence in US, UK, UAE, right? UAE only Dubai. And the learners I got were from Germany and Saudi Arabia. And I was so surprised. I'm like, oh, we got recognized there first and then valued here. That's the norm. So, but that is something which is happening. GenAI learning, to summarize my point, GenAI will become that norm, and one, everybody has to go that way. Two, people who are coaching people to go that way are the ones who are causing real disruption.
Yeah. I think around 5-6 years back, I had read this quote from Naval Ravikant, and he had actually mentioned that AI today is actually anonymous Indians. There is someone who is making a call or who's annotating the data or who's doing the work so that you are having a decentish AI experience. And when I was traveling to the US, this was 6-7 years back, I think I had a fascination to go to an Amazon Go store, and it was only open for employees, and I had a cousin brother was working there. So I was like, I just want to see the experience. How can it be so seamless? And just last year, I think they declared that, there were people sitting all over the world who were actually checking the products you're picking up and creating a bill for you. So it wasn't that seamless. And there's a lot of human intervention that goes behind AI. And that actually brings me to the next point, right? Because I think one point of fear, especially in customer experience, when it comes to AI is hallucinations, right? AI hallucinates, it has conversations which you don't want it to have. You build certain guardrails, but it may disobey those guardrails and still go on to say something. I think there have been some cases where the companies, airlines would have to give refunds, penalties are imposed on these organizations for false selling. So all of those things are happening. At an organization level, we feel that it's better to give AI solutions that are have more guardrails where it's okay if the AI can't handle certain questions, rather than just go ahead and answer anything which is going to come back to bite you later. So from your perspective today, while implementing these solutions, especially from a customer experience lens, what are the 2-3 pitfalls that you're seeing that, okay, this is something that we need to be careful about? I think we already know about hallucinations. If there's something deeper that you can take us to.
Sure. In one word, first one line, I'll give the answer to this. See, of course, it's a nice technology, good technology, but it is like a car. So once you get a car, you cannot give it in the hand of an infant or a person who just knows, oh, this is race, this is accelerator, this is steering, go for it. So that should not happen, of course. Then it will land you up in not even just hallucinations. Here it will land you up in coma or probably the another heaven. So a car is more dangerous than AI in that sense, if not used properly. Yeah. So same way, all the people who actually want to leverage it. See, always when you are, and second example I'll give is when you are teaching someone to drive. You probably sit beside them, also have a steering and control in your hand, that anytime you can always put a brake, and that brake is the guardrail. That brake in conversation in terms of AI chatbots is the one you, as an organization policy, if your organization prohibits, let's say for example, I give you a real example of what we have built inside, an HR chatbot for our people. We have not used it we are not using it, but just for pilot purpose we built it. where people can come and ask, okay, what is the salary I'm gonna get this month? How many leaves are pending? All those conversations, an employee can do what they want to do with an HR with this bot. Now, a smart employee like me can go and ask, what is the salary of my CBO? Can ask. And it can also tell this answer, oh, he's making probably 70 lakhs a year. And I'll be like, oh my God. Now I get this information, I go back to my boss and I'm like, why not? I'm only getting 30 lakhs a year. So these kind of guardrails is organization specific, use case specific. Although it's not illegal to ask salary of somebody. I can always ask a chat GPT, what is the money Elon Musk is making or Sundar Pichai is making. So this is contextual guardrails, apart from the regular guardrails, which the models already come with, the hallucinations, the incorrect responses, and all that stuff, the data privacy and those kind of things. These are already implemented by the people, but as an organization, you need to put in the guardrails, the things which are prohibited in your organization. Similarly, we're working for one of the European organizations, DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion is a big theme over there. So they want any questions which are around that needs to be banned. So there we built in another ML pipeline, an intent classifier model, कि वो सबसे पहले question का intent figure out करता है, and it filters it out. It doesn't even sends it to the bot. If the question is having anomalous or malicious intent, if the model classifies, that question does not goes to the AI. It either goes directly to the human respondent, if it is a critical industry like airlines, or it gets blocked if it's in a company like myself, where an employee is asking the salary of another employee. So it just blocks that request, and it's like, I'm not supposed to answer that. So these kind of, one, of course, the privacy and that kind of guardrails, security kind of guardrails, and second is the contextual and policy guardrails. Whatever policies you teach your new employees, whenever a new employee joins, you say, this is prohibited here, this is what we advise. The same things we have to put in the form of guardrails for the model. And then you also put one human expert, because the model should not be given the steering. That is the end game.
I think we are out of time. Thanks a lot, Harneet. I think as a closing note, just that it's exciting times, moving ahead with caution, but with excitement. I think that's going to be the theme for the next few years to come. It's not going to go away anywhere. So happy to interact with all of you post this. But thanks a lot. Appreciate.
And that's why we say one last line. That's why we believe that in the new world, AI is still a jungle, but in the new world, maybe lion is not the new king and rabbit can be the new king of the jungle.
Check.
Happy to answer any questions.
What an amazing, amazing session. Give it up for them, guys. For any questions, of course, they'll be happy to take it during the networking session. Thank you so much. I would request Niranjan to please felicitate Mr. Harneet. Give them a huge round of applause. Let's have a picture. Thank you. I would request Miss Shraddha, founder and CEO at Krypton, to please come up and felicitate Niranjan and Harneet together. Let's give it up for them, and let's give it up for Shraddha, guys.